going on, boys? Back in the kitchen. Yeah, I know. Shut up, Emerald. Whatever. Today, we're going to make some homemade horseradish. And by the time we get done cutting this up and getting it ready, we're not going to be able to stand in the kitchen. I don't know if anybody likes horseradish or if you've ever seen how it's made, but this is how I do it. We're actually going to save the top. We're going to save the tops of these, and we're going to replant these. And these will grow. You can actually, all you got to do is cut a piece of this. This is a root. Horseradish is a root. And once you plant it and it starts growing, it just keeps growing. So what you could do is you cut like a 2-inch piece at an angle and then just stick it in dirt and then let it go and it will grow. But seeing where we got the leaves already on it, we're going to cut these at an angle and we're going to replant those, and we'll get some it takes, for it to fully mature, it takes about a year in the ground. So if I stick this in the ground now, by this time next year, I won't have to buy anymore. We tried it once before, but unfortunately, all the animals we have around here, they see fresh buds. That's the first thing that goes. So we actually had to go out and find plants that the deer wouldn't eat to plant around here. Other than that, when my wife first started her garden, she planted all these flowers, and the next door neighbor says they're all going to be gone in the morning, and my wife was like, "What are you talking about?" And yeah, sure enough, we get up the next morning, and every top of the flower was gone. The animals had just come and massacred them. So we had to go find stuff that they wouldn't eat to plant. So, but that's what you got to deal with when you live out in the woods, you know. And I'd rather have that than living in the city, trust me. So I'm going to prep this. This is going to all be peeled. You have to peel this like a carrot. Take the skin off. Then you cut it up into 1-inch chunks. And the more you cut this, the more potent it gets. The smaller it gets, the more potent it gets. So I have to put this in a blender, and when you put this in the blender, the stuff is nasty. Take the worst onion you ever cut in your life and multiply that by 100. That's what it's like. The first time I ever made it, I looked up the recipe. And it said, do it in a well-ventilated area. And I was like, well-ventilated? How bad can it be, right? Yeah, well, let me tell you something. My nose, my eye, everything was running. It was like mustard gas. It had gone off in the kitchen. Even the cat bailed out. And it wasn't the biscuits. It was our other cat. I had to open the doors in the apartment. Oh, my God. So I know now that when I do it, you gotta open up, or have some ventilation. So I'm gonna stop this now. Gonna cut this up, and I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. Hang on. Okay, fellas, we're back. I got my ends in some water for now. Mrs. Max out shopping. She's gonna get a couple of small pots. We're gonna start them in that. We're going to put them inside for now. It's a little bit too cold here in the mornings. So we're going to leave them inside for a few weeks till it gets a little bit warmer. And we will transfer them outside, and I'll put them on the porch in a 5-gallon bucket. So, and this is what I got left. Out of those 2 big pieces, this is what I have left that's usable. Sometimes I've cut some of these up before and ended up with almost nothing because they were either rotten on the inside, there was something wrong with them. Yeah, once you peel them all and get everything, you know, that's why you got to buy double what you want to make. found that out the hard way. But I'm gonna chop this up into like half-inch cubes, and I'll get the blender out and we'll pick it up there. So hang on, boys. All right, fellas. Notice I have opened the screen. It's a little pungent in here. It's getting there. Like I said, the smaller this stuff gets cut up, the worse it gets. It's going to be a good batch. The hairs on the back of my neck are starting to sweat now, so it's going to be a good one. I'm going to grind it up. We're going to use a little apple cider vinegar and a little bit of water. The key to this is once you and you can use either a food processor or I use the blender. Once you break it down into a pulp, you put a little bit of water into it. Now, the harder you put the vinegar in to stop the heat process. In other words, the longer I let this sit without vinegar in it, the hotter it will get. And we here in the Mac household, we like our horseradish nice and hot. So they recommend waiting 5 minutes, 3, 4, 5 minutes before you put the vinegar in. I wait like 10 or 15 minutes. And let me tell you, horseradish it's almost up there with wasabi. So I'm going to get the grinder out, blender, and we'll blend this up. And like I said, this is when it really starts to get unbearable. So hang on, boys. All right, boys, that's what we got left with it. Let me tell you, it's tough standing there. I'll back up a little. So now I put a little bit of water in, not a lot. Yeah, hang on, I gotta put this down. All right, so yeah, put a little bit of water in. Like I said, we don't want to put a lot. Just enough to keep it wet. I'll mix this up, and then we let it sit. Damn. Oh boy. I can't even stand here. Damn. All right. Damn. My eyes. All right, boys, I'm bailing out. I gotta sit there. So we'll let that sit for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. And then we put our vinegar in and we're all done. And then I got to try to bottle it. That's always the fun part. Good God. Yeah, if you can smell it in here now, you know what I'm saying. But there it is. Some Charlie Mac horseradish. So, just something else we do here. And we'll get those like I said, we'll get those in the ground. See if we can get them to grow. But like I said, you don't even have to take that. You can just take a piece of the horseradish itself. About a 2-inch piece, cut it at 45 and stick the 45 end into the dirt. The soil, and it'll sprout. It's a root, it'll sprout. So, alright boys, we got sunshine here finally today. It's cloudy out, but we got sun. Not too bad, it's in the mid-40s. Still cool. You got a breezy and it's breezy and cool, but at least the sun's out. So, alright boys, got a lot to do today. Got laundry to do, got some various chores around the house we got to get done, so, and I'm running out of time. So, peace out boys, have a good one.